Well, my next guest is true Hollywood royalty with a glittering career spanning 7 decades, awarded the Damehood by Prince Charles for his services to charity, in 2015. And next week will be part of the Dames in Jags procession at the Queen's Jubilee pageant. I'm thrilled to say Dame Joan Collins.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great, but I want to congratulate you on having your own show.
Thank you.
I think it's great.
Well, it's lovely to, it doesn't really feel like my own show until you're here.
Oh,
I feel like you're anointing me. Like it's almost after the Queen, it's the next best thing to a royal visit.
Oh, please. Come on.
Now, you're part of the Dames in Jags. What is this?
The Hags and Jags, I call it. Well, this thing is going to be so enormous. I mean, so fantastic. It's going... Have you ever been to the Macy's Thanksgiving parade? It's going to be like that. They're going to have all these floats. They're going to have people dancing and singing and all kinds of people on it. And then we are coming down in these amazing vintage Jaguars. Open. I've got a white one, and Twiggy's there, and Dame Darcy Bussell, and I can't remember who the others are. You must have it written down somewhere.
A load of great dames.
Well, I think so. And then we are going to go around waving gracefully, I hope, to the populace who are going to line up. And then we're going to go and hopefully go into one of the boxes and watch the rest of it. But it's very exciting because I'm such a monarchist and I'm such a royalist and I love the Queen so much that to have been asked is really...
You've been in movies 70 years. The Queen has been on the throne 70 years.
I know.
It's quite amazing. And there you are together. But she's a remarkable woman, isn't she?
She is the most inspirational woman, I think, that ever has lived in my lifetime. I don't know. I never knew Mother Teresa or Joan of Arc, but, I mean, they were probably pretty good. But, no, she is, because she's so down to earth and gentle and humorous, and she's got through all of these dreadful things that have happened to her. I mean, they really have been some awful things that she's had to deal with. And she does it with such grace. And the fact that she has never, ever commented on anything that's going on.
No interviews.
Nothing. But even an aside, because, you know, there are people that are lip reading, and they could say that she said, oh, I think this play is ghastly, as we all do when we go to see something. But the last time I saw her, it was at Buckingham Palace, and we were talking about Pygmalion, My Fair Lady, because some students gave a performance, and she's so knowledgeable about the theatre. And we had a really very nice chat. No, I just love her. She's been a part of my life. I kept a scrapbook of her wedding to Prince Philip when I was a schoolgirl. We were all madly in love with Prince Philip at school, you know, because he was so good looking.
She must really miss Philip, don't you think? I mean,
well, after, what, 74 years of being married? Yes, well, look at that man who just died with a broken heart.
I know, well, the story from Texas.
I know.
I mean, imagine, they've got 4 children.
Oh, no.
The teacher had been teaching there for many years. She gets shot dead by this lunatic. And then within 24 hours, her husband literally dies of a broken heart. This was his childhood sweetheart. But those 4 kids now have no parents.
Oh, my God. It's
heartbreaking.
It's beyond terrible what goes on with these things. I don't understand why, if somebody posts pictures of themselves on social media, buying guns, talking about guns, saying, I want to kill people, why they can't be... Why the FBI or the CIA or whoever go after them?
He literally put on Instagram pictures of the 2 AR-15 rifles. But here's the point. He was 18... And when he turned 18 a couple of weeks ago, he was legally allowed to buy these guns. He went and bought these guns. He couldn't have bought a beer. That would have been illegal. He couldn't buy a Kinder Surprise chocolate egg. They're illegal in the whole of America because the toys may choke you. But an 18-year-old boy could buy 2 AR-15 semi-automatic rifles and then go and do what he did. And it's that inconsistency of the laws which I find so completely baffling. But I always say to people, you and I have worked in America a long time, lived there. It's embedded in the culture. They have half of the world's guns are in America. Nearly half of the population of America own guns. So you're talking about 150, 60 million people in a country who have guns and therefore support their usage. And they believe passionately that the Second Amendment of the US Constitution entitles them, as ratified by the Supreme Court, to own firearms.
Well, I can understand that you might want to own a firearm, a small Glock or something, but to own 2 assault rifles or to own machine guns, that's what I don't understand. And I don't believe that 40% or whatever percentage you said of the population goes along with that. I think that they want to have a gun, and if somebody comes into their property, they can shoot them. But assault rifles? I mean,
what's
it's
happening
really
with young
allowed...
people, Joe? I mean, the last 2 massacres, the one in the supermarket, the white supremacist, and now this one, they're both 18 years old. The Sandy Hook shooter was 20. What is going on with these young men that they're so completely detached from reality and so angry that they want to go and commit these atrocities?
Well, I have a theory that young people today are brought up and love violent movies,
Video
violent
games,
games.
This one did.
Violent,
he liked Call of Duty.
They live on them. They're brought up from the age of 4 or 5.
I think it desensitizes them.
Of course it does. It's like porn. The same thing. It desensitizes, which is why I think that women are being abused so much.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why that is allowed, because Buzzy and I, we watch a lot of television. And so many things we say, we can't watch this. The whole screen is covered in blood. You know, there's 4,000 people being killed. And there's the most awful thing, women being abused and slapped and hit. And it's just not right. It's not what I wasn't allowed to see certain movies. Do you remember? They used to have U certificate, universal.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to see anything like that. And I think that's probably, you know, my generation is more sensitive.
I think it's a lot of things. I think the desensitizing is definitely part of it. They all seem to be addicted to violent video games. I think that I think medication. America's a very heavily medicated country.
Well, it's not just Americans.
No, but I'm saying I don't think they have any more of that than many countries, or indeed more mental health issues. What they do have is mentally deranged people who can get very easy legal access to weapons of war. I mean, when you see these guns, these are like machine guns. Machine guns are actually illegal in America, but these are semi-automatic. They can fire a bullet every time you pull a trigger.
And obviously, if you're going to buy something like that, you're going to kill somebody.
Well, he bought 375 rounds of ammunition.
And the guy who was in the shop has the FBI talked to this guy?
It seems completely crazy, doesn't it?
It is crazy. Well, thank God it can't happen in this country.
Yeah. Well, it happened here in Dunblane, in Scotland.
But that was how long ago?
1996, and I was actually editing the Daily. Well, I was editor of the Daily Mirror at the time, and you see, Britain wasn't a gun culture country at the time.
No.
Very few civilians owned guns, so it was an easier campaign. Really, we all came together, left and right. It wasn't political. I always say this to my American friends. I don't know why politics gets involved with this. This is about saving kids from being shot dead at school. But, you know, we campaigned, we got the laws changed, and we haven't had a school shooting since. America's had 27 school shootings this year.
I can't, you know, I mean, can you imagine being a mother and hearing that?
No.
Or even being a mother now and sending your kids to school and thinking, are they going to be safe?
Just
I mean, you always
unthinkable.
thought your children were going to be safe.
I actually emailed a friend of mine who's one of the Dunblane mothers, because every time one of these things happens, I just can't imagine what they go through. And I sent her a note, and she replied a very nice, heartfelt email. But it always takes them strate back when they have this to
Well, of course it does.
And their kids never grow up, and just what they have to go through is so unthinkable.
I think the whole thing is unthinkable, and I think the whole thing of somebody mentally wanting to kill children, babies, which of course is what is going on in Ukraine as well, but we don't seem to talk about that anymore.
Well, that's another thing, you know, Ukraine's disappearing from the news agenda,
I know.
which is what Vladimir Putin wants.
Oh,
He's
he
carrying
does?
of course he wants us to stop talking about it, let him just carry on seizing the country.
It's just appalling.
Which is what he's doing, you know.
But is it true that he's very ill? I keep on hearing these rumours.
People say that. I mean, who the hell knows? All I do know is he is razing cities to the ground, literally destroying them.
Worse than Hitler.
Like he did in... Yes, he is.
Worse than Hitler.
He's up there with Hitler.
Yeah,
and I think his aspiration is to seize Ukraine and then to try and seize other countries.
Oh, of course.
And he has to be
Next stop,
stopped.
Finland.
Yeah.
Norway.
What do you make of Partygate, Boris Johnson? You know Boris Johnson. You've been at parties with Boris Johnson.
Yeah, he was my boss once when he was...
At the Spectator?
When he was at the Spectator, yeah. What do I think of it? I have to say I haven't really gotten involved in it totally, but I haven't exactly seen, you know, fizzing bottles of champagne and and people sitting down. To me, a party is people sitting down.
Well, they had a few big
drinks.
ones. I mean, he may
They
not have
really
been...
did? I haven't read it.
There have been some big ones, and they were vomiting and fighting and
that's
breaking
nice.
stuff. Yeah, but
I don't go to parties where
ultimately,
people
it's not
vomit.
about parties. What it's about the fact that they were doing all this, breaking the laws they had made.
Yes.
And everybody else, including the Queen, who at Philip's funeral had to sit on her own
that tragic
because she wanted
picture.
to obey the
Yes,
rules.
I
And the
know.
night before, they were partying in Downing Street till 4 a.m., which I
Really?
think is unforgivable.
Well, I do too. I think it's terrible. But what are you going to do? I mean, you're going to get rid of Boris. Who are you going to bring in?
Actually, yes, I do,
Angela
actually.
Rayner?
I do think when a Prime Minister breaks their own rules and gets fined by the police for it during a pandemic, that's a resignation offence. It used to be. In the old days, men would fall on their sword as a
Yeah.
matter of honour. I don't think he knows how to spell the word.
Well, who do you suggest then is our next Prime Minister?
Somebody that can restore a bit of integrity and trust.
Somebody. Who's the somebody?
There's always somebody.
There's
Every
never-
time you think
I
a
don't
leader's...
think there's a
no
somebody.
leader is irreplaceable.
No,
I
I
mean,
guess
you
it-
are, but you're irreplaceable. I'm not.
I don't know about that.
Let me talk to you about another thing. Wimbledon today has announced that they're removing from the honours board Ms. and Miss before the names of previous winners. They want to make it gender neutral. What are your thoughts?
I think that's just the way everything's going, isn't it?
but
What,
why?
what about the men?
Well, the men, they just call them, you know, N. Djokovic.
It's just something that's been going on, and it's something to me that, you know, since Emily Pankhurst, women have fought for equal rights. So I suppose this is them saying, well, this is equal rights, you know, the men
What if they say to you,
are
right, you
enslaved.
can't be called a dame anymore because it's too female a title?
Well, they haven't said that to me.
What if they did? What if they came for your damehood?
I just threw it to them.
You wouldn't. You love being a dame, don't you?
I love being a dame. I mean, it's very flattering in Britain, particularly, because people know what it is. In the rest of the country, they don't know. I mean, in the rest of the world, in America, the dame is, you know, something from Damon Runyon.
That's what Frank Sinatra used to call his girlfriends.
Yeah, you're a dame. Yeah, and of course in Europe, like in France, Percy sometimes says to somebody, it's Dame Joan Collins, dame. Yeah, they think this is... No, I like it, of course, but, you know,
when you
I'm
see a
very
debate-
old-fashioned.
But Joe, when you see this debate where politicians can't even say what a woman is now, what do you make?
Now we're not going to get on that subject. I do not approve of people saying that. Of course not, because it's just not fair. It's not right. And
what is the answer to that
I do not wish
question?
to get cancelled by the trans community.
No.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but what is a woman?
What is a woman? Me. Celia. Her over there. There's plenty of us.
I mean, but are you worried that in this trans debate, because I support trans rights to fairness
So
and
do
equality,
I, of course.
I just don't like the attack on women's rights that some of the activists are driving, where you have in sport this apparent unfairness now going on. I mean, what do you think when you see that?
Well, I don't watch sport.
No, but you know what I'm talking about.
Well, I know what you're talking about, yes, and I know what you want me to say.
I don't want you to say
do.
anything. I
Yes,
never
of course you
dreamed
do.
to tell you what
yes,
to
you want
say.
me to agree with you.
No, I don't. This is uncensored, Michelle.
Well, of course it's uncensored. I think that a person should be who they feel that they are and who they... But I do believe... I can't say this. I can't say this. No, I can't.
Why? You feel like you can't because you may get into trouble?
I can't because I don't want to get hate mail.
You see, but you've gone through your entire career saying exactly what you always think.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No,
I've read your diary.
haven't. I've never gotten into the politics of biology.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Well, I understand why people don't want to go there. Yeah.
Well, yes, I don't want to go there.
Talking about biology, what about Madonna, who's auditioning for a new boy toy?
You're kidding.
She is.
No, you've just made that up.
No, she's apparently auditioning.
Really?
She wants him to be hard-bodied.
What do you mean?
Hard-bodied and young.
Oh, that's right. We were with her son, Rocco,
Yeah.
last summer.
Huh?
And he said, you know, my mother says that she will not sleep with anybody over the age of 25. I said, no, Rocco, you're kidding.
Well, that's never been your rule, has it?
No, I don't have rules. Rules. I'm very happily married with 20 years. You didn't come to our anniversary party.
I wasn't here, as you know. I was in
you
Australia.
weren't. I know.
It was a fantastic party. And the great Percy's, as he always is, he's lurking in the wings like a protective knight.
Don't say that word, lurking. He's
Like a
standing
protective
there.
knight, look at him.
Standing. He saved me from the most embarrassing wardrobe malfunction at
Really?
the party. Yes, I was talking to Richard Arnold, your friend.
Oh, yeah.
And he was terribly funny. He made me laugh. And the whole zipper in the back of my dress went.
No.
And I'm sitting there with it completely gaping open. And there's loads of photographers. It was a big party. And I said to Percy, I don't know what to do. I know there was another dress I was possibly going to wear. Because the theme was red, white, or blue. Because it was a Jubilee party. So I said, you know, the white dress that I left in the wardrobe, do you think you could bring it? So he went off. Luckily, we don't live too far away, and I changed into another dress.
And we were spared, well, what would have been perhaps a delightful incident.
I had to sit there for at least half an hour, and I had a huge feather boa, which I kept on putting on Christopher Biggins around his neck. He really liked that. And, but it was
fantastic. Dame Joan, I've got to leave it there. But it was a wonderful interview. It's great to see you, and I cannot wait to see you in your Jag on Sunday at the Platinum Jubilee. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, yes, I'm going to see you there. See you around.
I'll see you there.
Okay.
Yeah, and in fact, I'm seeing you for dinner tomorrow night.
Oh,
I'm a lucky guy.
New restaurant.
And dinner with Joan Collins, let me tell you, is hilarious. Lovely to see you.
Great to see you.